Right? All the above. Good evening, everybody. It's 6:30. I will call the October 2020 Manitowoc County Board of Supervisors meeting to order at this time. First time will be indication by Supervisor Kavanaugh, followed by the pledge of allegiance to the flag. Everybody, please rise.
Dear God, help us make good decisions that will affect all the people in Manitowoc County. Each of us are dedicated and want the best for all of our citizens. Especially now, help us as we start the budget process. Also, help all of us and our families stay healthy through these trying times. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Supervisor Kavanaugh. Next up is roll call. There are 19 members present. We have a quorum. Supervisors Zimmer, Aulick, Nichols, Winsmeyer, Metzger, and Hagan are excused this evening. Next up will be consideration and correction of our minutes from our September 15, 2020 County Board meeting. Motion by Supervisor Banky, second by Supervisor Ballman to approve the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, and the minutes are approved. No additions or deletions to the agenda this evening, so we'll go right on with our only agenda item tonight, report of the county executive. County Executive Bob Zingelbauer, a presentation of the proposed 2021 budget. Bob, the podium is yours.
Thank you. very much. Ladies and gentlemen of the county board, this is a solid budget, and this will go pretty quick. Each year at this time, we reflect on our mission, financial goals, and priorities as we look to plan the budget for next year. Budgets are sometimes boring, but they're important. Our mission is to keep delivering high-quality services efficiently, taking as little from the taxpayers as we can. Manitowoc County's long-term financial goals and priorities continue to be holding the line on taxes while delivering high-quality services, keeping our debt low, less than 10% of the statutory minimum, continuing with a robust capital improvement program, and maintaining our facilities, county trunk roads, and equipment. Our financial plan is working quite well. We had a good year in 2018. In 2019, we accumulated more than $3 million in surplus. In 2020, we paid off $4,279,000 in debt. Now we have the chance to continue our progress. Annual budgets are more than one-year plans. Yearly budgets fit together in one unified strategy to achieve our long-term goals and priorities. We've included in our revised 5-year plans for major departments in this budget. Please look at the charts I've attached to this memo. They were prepared by the controller and show our history on capital spending and debt. For those concerned about the debt of Manitowoc County, recall our independent auditor at the county board meeting on July 21st, 2020, pointed out our low debt and said, from a debt perspective, the county is in a strong financial position. Yes, we borrowed some money, $35 million in the past 15 years, but that supported over $90 million in capital projects. Notice how we maintained our debt at very low levels in the past, usually less than 10% of our statutory debt limit. It is less than 9% now, and we can reasonably project that we will keep it below that level in the future. Manitowoc County continues to be in strong financial shape. The Manitowoc County 2021 budget that I am proposing today calls for a tax levy for operations of $31,143,973.41 to support local spending of $71,690,943. We have held the line on taxes for 2021 again. The typical taxpayer will see a slight decrease in the county property tax from last year. Our theme for 2017 and 2018 and 2019 was on big projects. Now that we are done with those projects, we have a continuing aggressive highway maintenance program supporting law enforcement, and we will be improving our parks in the years ahead. In the past few years, we've improved the restroom facilities, boat launches, picnic tables, and playground equipment in a number of county parks with the aid of several DNR grants and a utility grant. In 2020, we built a $400,000 pavilion in the Maribel Caves with the aid of a DNR grant and the utility grant funds. Manitowoc County has an opportunity to devote nearly $900,000 to important projects in the next 2 years. I've attached information tonight on the closed program, which will be referred to you in the next few months. This is not part of the budget, but remains another great collaboration opportunity for improvement in the facilities of Manitowoc County. The county will concentrate on smaller but important projects like the recently completed renovation park projects in the parks, the resurfacing of 12.4 miles of county trunk highways, and a new bridge on County Trunk Highway Q. I am recommending that Manitowoc County borrow $1 million for these highway projects. Remember, it is appropriate to borrow for projects that last many years to spread the cost to taxpayers over the useful life. This spreads the cost out to taxpayers using the project and helps keep our taxes low. Manitowoc County retired $4,279,000 in outstanding debt in 2020, and we will retire $2,260,000 in 2021, making our debt reduction equal to $1,260,000 in 2021. Manitowoc County has very low debt, less than 9% of the state maximum, and getting lower every year. My budget proposal for 2021 contains several key items that I would like to specifically draw to your attention as you consider this plan. Our employment level is stable. Our performance management plan provides employees an opportunity to increase their salary up to 2% for their continuing good work. Because the cost of living is quite low this year, I am not proposing that we increase our paid plan schedule for inflation. Health insurance costs are always important. As a result of our good experience, there will be no changes recommended in the healthcare premiums for the 7th year in a row. I am recommending that $300,000 from the Health Insurance Reserve Fund be applied to this budget. Road maintenance continues to be a high priority in 2021. I am recommending in 2021 that we appropriate $2,507,000 for highway projects with 12.4 miles of resurfacing and a new bridge on County Trunk Highway Q. We have an aggressive 17-year rotational plan for county trunk road maintenance. Our county trunk roads are in good shape. We have a relatively new Manitowoc County Sheriff, Dan Hartwig. In 2020, the sheriff adjusted the schedule of work in the jail from 8-hour shifts to 12-hour shifts. This was a great success in increasing staffing, cutting overtime, and giving the jailers more weekends off during the year. I supported the sheriff in this effort. I propose giving the sheriff's department the largest tax levy increase for our departments due to the aggressiveness and productivity by the sheriff's management staff. I recommend that we approve a remodeling project in the jail. The project is estimated to cost $182,000. Funds will come from the inmate commissary account and the jail assessment fund. I recommend that we authorize replacing 22 AEDs, automatic external defibrillators, for $38,000 and 12 HD squad cameras for $84,000 that the sheriff is requesting this year. I recommend that we add 2 positions in the Human Services Department to the Mental Health Division in the CCS program. And we are also continuing with the drug court grants and the pre-trial diversion programs for 2021. Manitowoc County Expo had a down year because of closures and cancellations due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Expo could not have survived without the funds attributable to the sale of the property to Myers. I am recommending that the Manitowoc County Expo continue with their scheduled maintenance effort for $100,000 that they have detailed in the miscellaneous section of this budget document. The Expo Land Sale Reserve Fund will have approximately $1,770,000 at the end of 2021. I am recommending that we appropriate $600,000 for the Public Works Department to fund major maintenance of our continuous 5-year program. The elevators in the courthouse and the Human Services Building are scheduled for replacement in 2021, and the closed program will fund the replacement of the courthouse first floor bathrooms if my recommendations on the closed program are passed by the county board. And I am recommending that we appropriate $425,000 from the general fund surplus that we accumulated in 2019 to fund this budget. To summarize, in 2021, we are holding the line on taxes. The typical taxpayer will pay less than they did last year in county taxes. Borrowing $1 million to partially fund our highway projects, supporting law enforcement, enhancing our parks, and having an aggressive highway maintenance plan, and paying down our debt by $1,260,000. For the typical property taxpayer in 2021, county property taxes are less than 10 years ago. Thanks to the support of the county board and the citizens of Manitowoc County, Manitowoc County government is not only more effective, but more sustainable, nimble, and better able to adjust to change in the future. I believe this is a solid plan to continue our progress in Manitowoc County, attuned to the times in our community. I look forward to your deliberation over the next few weeks and would appreciate your support of these proposals. I invite you to meet with me as needed, informally or at the committee level, to answer your questions and understand the details in this budget as you prepare to pass it in November. As it is always the case, please don't hesitate to call me if I can ever be assistance to you on this or any other issue of importance. And thank you very much for your consideration. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Bob. I will open it up, I guess, for general questions. I know you haven't really had a chance to look at the budget this early section right now tonight, but anybody's got any quick questions for Bob? Now would be an appropriate time to ask them. Just raise your hand. I guess I'll start with Supervisor Niles.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Bob, I just have a question. I was kind of looking through this and the road construction projects over the next 5 years. Back here. There's a stretch of roadway in my district that was on here and it's absent. Now, Highway XX from 67 to, I'm not exactly sure how far east it went. It's a pretty rough stretch of road.
We had a question on that this afternoon from Jim Bauman, a similar question on that particular piece of the road. I think the answer that Mark Colson gave to Jim Bauman, I can forward to you, but basically it's delayed for a year or two because of the road resurfacing items, but it will be considered later this year or early next year, and maybe pushed ahead. So that's uncertain. We're looking at that, and Mark Olson will explain it to you in the email that he sent to Jim, and I'll forward that to you.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor Niles. Supervisor Hanson, you were next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will honor, the executive said that the closed program is not part of this budget, so I will hold my comments about that program until a later time, but you did get an emailing from the executive about his input into that closed program. We have to go back and redo some things because there was never a public hearing on the program, so we're going to have to do that. I will send you an email of that schedule, and then when the finance committee will be looking at this budget. But when you read his memo, I want you to know that there are some false narratives in there. And we will talk about that, false narratives from many people in there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Hanson. Anybody else have any questions? Bob, in your point number 13, when you're recommending we appropriate $425,000 from our undesignated reserve, do you know, I know it's hard to predict yet that we have 2 more months of 2020 left, but do we know what the balance of that reserve will be using this money? And obviously, I know things will change because of money coming in yet this year. And
Well, I'll answer that in general. We put over $1 million, maybe $1.5 million in the last 2 years. So we're only taking $425,000 out of that. So we're increasing, not decreasing. But to refer to this year's budget, we don't know the bottom line. But I would say that the budget has not been too affected by the economy and the COVID-19 pandemic. We have a lot of expenses that are being reimbursed by the health department, by an emergency government department, and by the ADRC. And we've gotten reimbursement for many of them already. And the Comptroller's Office has a pipeline to the state and federal government that works pretty well. So I would predict that we'll accumulate a fair amount of surplus this year too.
thank you very much. Any other questions? All right, as Supervisor Hanson mentioned, be on the lookout for, I guess, when the Finance Committee will be meeting, not just on the budget, but also the closed program as well. Before we leave tonight, I just want to give you a couple quick updates from the county board's perspective. Remember, the annual meeting of the Manitowoc County Board of Supervisors will be here in this building unless something would drastically change with the COVID pandemic. So we'll be meeting here Monday, October 26th at 6:30 p.m. In addition to normal county board business with resolutions and committee reports and et cetera, we will also have a public hearing on the proposed budget for 2021 and normal public comments as well. If all goes well with the finance committee making a budget recommendation within the following week or the 2 weeks after that, we will be meeting Thursday, November 5th. We'll be meeting here as well, just to have more room because of, especially with the public situation, for our November meeting to hopefully pass a 2021 budget. So I don't know if anybody's got any questions on that right now. All right, thank you very much. I know it was a quick one tonight, but thank you for all for coming, and I think it's very important that we could have probably had this meeting, or Bob could have just sent an email, but I think it's important that the county executive presents it to the public and to the county board in a public setting, so this was very appropriate tonight. If there's nothing else, I'm Supervisor Engelbrecht?
Did everybody sign the card and the roll?
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah, I think you were probably the last one, because I got everybody before the meeting over here, and I started over there, so we should be good. Thank you for bringing up Supervisor Engelbrecht. Nothing else? I'll accept a motion to adjourn. Motion by Supervisor Engelbrecht, second by Supervisor Mink. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a safe trip home.
Here, you can set up.